Thank you to Petty AI, matey. Appreciate it. That man said, Roddy, ads, I'm out of here. I'll use my Prime. I'll take that deal. Okay, that's an interesting username. I don't know why we're playing under this one, but that's okay. The nerds have started. It is time to hop into our second best of 5 of the night. A youngster, a newcomer versus a proper veteran. It's ZhuGeLiang versus Coucoute. Finland versus France. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight!
In the top right side, the second of the 4 Finnish Zergies tonight on our Finnish Zerg Festival night. This is ZhuGeLiang, the man who once upon a time indeed beat Zhu at Nation Wars to the joy of innovation and stats, who thought it was incredibly funny. One of my favorite Starcraft 2 clips of all time. A close second behind Gay being Mothership Core rushed. Or not Mothership Core, regular Mothership. That was the best. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the man who's playing under the idea massive plane. But of course, you guys know him, and I know him, as Coucoute. Where is Jakiro? Jakiro is not here. But we've got Jonah and Tommy. Where are the dragons? The dragons are upstairs. I have so many right now. We got a new friend, little one. The Halloween thing called Uki. Today we picked up Jonah. This is Jonah, guys. Jonah's a rugby. I think he's amazing. I'm a big fan. And Jonah wanted to watch some soccer. No, not Jonah. 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 Not quite the same. I think they're awesome. The Halloween one is very cute too. But this one arrived today. I think he's very cool. They're so soft. They're happy. I'm a big fan. Go massive lane. Standard openings over here, guys. ZhuGeLiang traditionally has been a bit of a unique Zerg. He is willing to switch it up. For a long time he was a massive fan of just building a lot of upgraded Zerglings. I don't know what to expect of ZhuGeLiang, obviously, guys. He's a player from the past. A man with a lot of experience. It is experience versus probably a lot more activity. Coucoute may be a minor favorite because of that, but ZhuGeLiang did perform at a very high level once upon a time. I'll take a picture and now of all of them, but you're gonna be like, oh my god, you guys have a problem. We've got so many now. We actually have so many. There's a strong start here by Coucoute as he gets 5 drones with his first 2 adepts. A little bit of lost mining time as well. 5 is too many, guys. You're allowed to lose 2 drones here as a Zerg. If the Protoss suicides the adepts, you can lose 2. If you lose 3, it's a bit annoying, but whatever. 4 or 5 is absolutely a victory for the Protoss. We have a lot of mugs and we have a lot of plushies. The Oracle is here. The Zerglings are keeping Coucoute busy on the other side of the map, and I think they kept ZhuGeLiang busy as well for a split second. Seemed like he picked up another adept, the Zuga that is, but he's losing drones and getting too much done. This is the equivalent of watching Mixer and Deadlock. These guys just go for it. Yeah, see, I have heard about this slowly. We've got so many. Most of them were because Vicky wanted them, but I really wanted the rugby. I saw the rugby yesterday. And I'm a very big fan of the American football one. I think it's awesome. When I saw the rugby one, I was like, we need to get that one. But I don't know anything about rugby, so I looked up 10 greatest rugby players of all time. And then there was a guy called Jonah. Maybe some of you guys know about him in rugby. I don't think I have a lot of rugby fans on this channel. But apparently he's one of the GOATs. And my little rugby plushie is named after Jonah. Do you have the blue octopus? No. I'll take a picture. We'll eventually line them up. We have so many then. we really have a lot. Jonah Luma Rugby was the best PS1 game ever. Was there a PS1 game? Huh. I did not play that. I did play Madden once. But I don't know if it was on the GameCube or the N64 or the PlayStation, but I did play one of the Madden games, but I never played any rugby games. Winged. Honestly, Winged, these 2 are very cool. And I think you were at the Homestudy Cup, right, where we gave Pi the volleyball. Since Pi is a volleyball fan, They also have a very big plushie. That is a soft volleyball. And we gave it to Pi for his birthday. This many oracles seems odd to me. No, it's very fine. A lot of Protoss players will go 3. Some of them go 2. This many adepts without the glaives. I think that is the thing that stands out for me a little bit more. And it's safe to say that that didn't really pay off for Coucoute at all. The initial adepts did great. All of these extra adepts, they didn't do all that much. And I did tell you guys that ZhuGeLiang is a man who likes building a lot of Zerglings. Like, if it's more than 3 oracles, I agree with you that that'd be different. But 2 or 3 is very standard. If Protoss players make 1, it often sets up for a very strong Twilight Council attack as a follow-up. Whether that's Zealots with charge and +1 or Adepts with Resonating Glaive. Sometimes Blink Stalkers. But 2 or 3 is pretty common. 2 is the ultra standard and 3 just means that we're trying to be max specs and try to be safe at home while finding damage on the other side of the map. A bit of everything. You love your volleyball? I thought that was a great gift. Pi got spoiled by us guys on his birthday. I even gave him one of the Sarah player cards with a nice little frame. That boy can't complain. And what do I get in return? Terrible walls in deadlock. Unbelievable. Kidding, Pi. That McGinnis is fire, mate. Coucoute is gonna pressure. Doesn't really have that many stalkers. I don't love this move out. Like, even if this was the original plan, guys, we're gonna make 3 oracles and then we're gonna attack with stalkers. I think you need to adjust to what's happening in the game. And if you know your opponent has so many freaking Zerglings, and if you know your adepts, the second wave didn't do anything, I think this kind of move out doesn't really make a lot of sense. Especially now that we're also going up to 4 bases. Good news for Coucoute is that I don't think he overcommitted. He lost 3 stalkers, went home. But surviving the first Hydra Ling attack is actually going to be very challenging for the Frenchman. Even if ZhuGeLiang is still making drones, but 51 Lings, 14 Hydras. It's not impossible for Coucoute. Especially not if ZhuGeLiang only attacks with half of his army, but it could have been scary. Might currently be using the frame for Reyna's card. I could have given you a extra frame, mate. Or you can just ask Kalaras. Kalaras is the one who got me started with those. We have a whole bunch of them. Got like 40 Pokemon cards listed. And then 1 or 2 of these Starcraft 2 player cards. What ZhuGeLiang's MMR, I think that's very hard to say. If I had to guess, I'd say it's like 5.5, 5.6 right now, give or take. Something among those lines. I'd be very surprised if it would be higher than 5,700. I'd be very surprised if it was lower than like 5,300. $5,727 is pretty high. That's impressive. The Hydras and the Lings are gonna work on the Stalkers and the Oracles. I don't really understand, guys, why Coucoute has 2 Robos and a Robo Bay, but we're still just moving out with this army. Once more, if we're not trying to commit, it's okay, but he just lost a couple of the Oracles that are so useful to just keep alive for a long time, drop stasis trappies everywhere. That makes a lot more sense. The double Colossus is a tiny bit surprising. I don't hate it at all. I would love to see Thermal Lens, though. I'm a big Colossus believer. I have been for a long time. His record is 6-3, yeah, but so is mine. And that probably gets smoked by Coucoute right now, so that doesn't mean a whole lot, right? Stalker's gonna blink forward. He's so aggressive while building the best units at home. Coucoute, mate, you gotta chill a little, my friend. He's very rich. He's on 90 probes, so it's okay to be like a little bit reckless, but be reckless with Zealots, with stuff you can throw away, not with Stalkers. And please, for the love of everything, get extended thermal lasts. I completely agree that Colossus are not that bad. Now against high amount of lurkers, they won't cut it. You're gonna need something else. But you do absolutely need extended thermal lens. And he's gonna queue it up right now. He's actually doing a very good job here in finding some damage with the Zealots on the right side. The remaining Zealots are battling the Roaches and Hydras. That's not a fight that they will win. Spicy first game between these two, eh? ZhuGeLiang has lost 16 drones. I don't think he's out yet. By the way, these roaches are really slow. Is it just me? Or are these roaches really, really slow? Feels like we've got Hydra speed, but we don't have roach speed. I think I like it for Coucoute. I was a bit worried. And at this point, obviously, with all the economic damage, I want to say I kind of like it. However, 120 supply of lurkers could still become very, very scary. He's doing a really good job right now. This is impressive Protoss gameplay coming out of Coucoute. Very macro-oriented. He's been in the face of his opponent. This is where I think he needs to chill a little. The Vipers are on the way. The lurker count is pretty high. At this point, I'd say slow it down a tiny bit. Just be aggressive maybe with Zealot somewhere. Drop that fleet beacon if you can. I don't think we have a fleet beacon. Even if we have thermal lens, roaches are, excuse me, Colossus are not that hot against high lurker numbers. It takes forever. I don't know how many shots it takes for a Colossus to kill a lurker. But right now, this Lurkers is so good against Stalker Colossus. You guys ever wonder why did Lilbao leave Starcraft and start playing Overwatch? And he never won anything in Overwatch, but he was winning everything in Starcraft. Because Lurkers are really good against the only 2 units he ever made. Well, 3. Sentries, Stalkers, and Colossus. But Lurkers kind of poop over those. The harassment has been excellent though. 31 workers falling. Shots at the Overwatch career. It's okay, he can take it. Lilba's a tough boy. Nice guy. I like Lilba. And I do think he won something, by the way. Just not... He was not as successful in Overwatch as he was in Starcraft 2, but I think he still did something. That wasn't all that bad. You don't see a way Zerg wins here? Oh, I see a way. I see a way. That's crazy close. The hatchery does fall. The DT with his absolute final hit gets the hatch. I absolutely see a way. Bigger armies supply. Coucoute has to be careful. 140 supply of lurkers. Obviously, the roaches are not that important. By the way, I think we still don't have roach speed, no? Am I crazy, guys? Or do we have roach speed now? Oh, it looks faster, but... Oh, it's on the production tab, yeah. Oh. Oh my god, he's going for it! He's going for it! He's got a lot of robots. There's a couple of Immortals now. We've got a couple of Archons in the mix too. Has to be so careful, by the way, of Vipers. Honestly, if we build a fleet beacon and we build 4 carriers at a time, I would agree with you that I don't think there's a way that Coucoute loses. With Stalker Colossus, he could absolutely lose. Especially with a Nidus potentially coming online in the main base. I'm worried. I'm worried for the Protoss, who's way richer, has all the bases, and is on 90 workers. And now lurkers are gonna make it into his main base. There's an Immortal that just came out. Do you Rico on top of this army? Do you want to ever Rico on top of all these lurkers? I don't know. First game is nuts between these two. The forges are gonna fall. The Robo Bay will fall too. That means no disruptors. Now he's getting 3 extra Stargates, but he still has no fleet beacon. I don't know about this lurker split off, by the way. By the way, I think ZhuGeLiang should have gone with his entire army. He could indeed snipe the overseer, but if it's just these lurkers, I think it's okay. Even though it's gonna be painful for this army to walk up this ramp. Oh my goodness, close your eyes. And now all the Hydras are gonna show up too. Now a lot of the lurkers are disappearing. That's a good thing there was no buffer for these lurkers. Extra lurkers are gonna show up though. Way more extra lurkers, but the Immortals are starting to do their thing. In range, one more revelation. I think it's the Immortals that kind of keep Coucoute alive here, but sweet baby Jesus, was that expensive, was that painful? If Zuga would have just popped everything out of it, if he creates a little bit of a buffer for these lurkers, there is no way that you can walk up this tiny ass ramp. Zuga was kind of all in, but he still has 126 army supply. He still has the Vipers too. I don't know. Of course, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Coucoute. But I don't think that Zuga is going to make it go on for a very long time. Couple of abducts will land. 2 Colossus meld immediately. I would save some of the abducts for Immortals, by the way. The Zealots are not very good here. Colossus get abducted again. Coucoute's army is melting. It is absolutely melting. Am I the only one who ever believes in a Zerg victory here? Sometimes it feels it is just me. I'm wearing my Mario Balotelli t-shirt. Why always me? I don't even want to always be right. I just can't help it. Sometimes I say something silly. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm never wrong. I'm wrong sometimes, guys. But I don't think I'm wrong this time. I think game 1 still belongs to ZhuGeLiang, unless we can maybe get some DTs, kill the Overseer, but Coucoute is just running out of money. People say I don't see a way for the Zerg to win. Oh, I saw a way, because I've been here many times myself. And that's why I choose for, guys, to play the video game that you cast. Not every Protoss you watch is as good as Max Packs, is as good as Showtime, and will be able to close out these leads. I look at that army of Coucoute. It was a good army. It was an army that did very well for a while. It does not do good against 20 lurkers. And at one point, like, we spent so much money on extra robos. We spent so much money on extra Stargates that never really came into play. We built 4 Stargates. How many units did we build out of those 4 Stargates? 0. 0. It is ZhuGeLiang, the Finnish Zerg, who takes the 1-0 lead after a nuts 17-minute wild game. Thus was indeed also up 30 workers, and because of that the Zerg army supply is a lot bigger, right? Coucoute did a lot of things right in that game, guys, and obviously there are many ways that he could have won that. But to say that it was like over, or we don't see a way that the Protoss is going to lose that, no. I've lost those games myself, time and time again. Against Zerg players way worse than ZhuGeLiang, by the way. It's Stalker Colossus can always die to lurkers. And especially like the 4 Stargates that we did not build a single unit out of. That's so many resources, right? Very well played by ZhuGeLiang. This is a fun game. I think both players played well. I think they're a really good match for one another. It's a good start to our second series of the night. We're on fire today, guys. It's a great night of Starcraft. It's the Sero factor. It's just because Sero is on the lineup, everybody else wants to step up their game. It's kind of like in the UFC, if you're part of a Conor McGregor fight night, you know, everybody knows the world is watching, people go ham. These guys are part of a Sero night, and they're ready to show their very best. Well, it's really cool so far. Shout out to Machi. The Coco spam will take it. ZJ. We're getting a double finish Phenom tonight. We're getting all of them, mate. I see 4 of them. 2 big ones, 2 tiny ones. Thank you, Valdnar and XZB as well. Did you get a new place, Roddy? I like to joke, mate, that I have bought a penthouse in Macau, but no, I didn't get a new place. I moved from that side of the room to this side of the room. That's all I did. I did get a new desk, so kind of stepping up my game a little. My home looks cozy. It does look nice, right? But we're gonna try to make it look even better, mate. It's a work in progress. But Rome wasn't built in one day. And my streaming setup is not built within 1 decade. But eventually, I will make it exactly the way that I want it to be. I guess my predictions in chat win rate is the lowest one here. No. That is Tingle Tangle, mate. Trust me, no matter how bad you try to perform, you will never do worse than Tingle Tangle. That man is beyond clueless. And the saddest thing is that he thinks he knows what he's talking about. It's nuts. Game 2.
Round 2. Fight!
I need some plants. We have a plant. And sometimes some flowers. But not too often. Top left side of site at Delta. It is the old school Finnish veteran. Once upon a time. I think he was the best Zerg player in Finland. But we have to go way back for that one. This is ZhuGeLiang. The bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of our French Protoss, who did a lot of things right in that previous game, but also a couple of mistakes. Mistakes that I do think are easy to fix, so if he would fix those, he'd become an even better player. Maybe adjust a little bit, don't stick to the original game plan, and obviously don't build mass Stalker Colossus against Lurkers. Don't build 4 Stargates without ever using them once. Well, he used the first one, but he didn't use the other 3. And don't move command your Immortals into the Zerg army. You get rid of a couple of those plays, and this man is an absolute beast. He's a very nice guy, and I like interacting with him. This is Coucoute. Sue, Kratos, it was Sue. Stats is the one who was laughing at Sue. But it was stats and innovation making fun of Su. ZhuGeLiang got him in the ZVZ. Nation Wars in Paris. I know I was casting with Todd. I don't know if that was the year with Apollo or that was the year with Zombie Grub. It was fun. Fun days. Recently spoke about O-Gaming for a while. Oh yeah, with the French, with DNS in Bulgaria. That was fun. Yeah, I would agree with that hacker stuff, but I mean, he didn't have that, right? The man had 90 workers, and if you then have 6 Colossus, and you have Oracles, and you have Stalkers, you can never have a lot of Immortals. That's impossible. No, I may not be a math wizard, but I know that eventually you make it to 200 supply real quick. The clip is hilarious. I mean, this one is easy told on because it's such a... it was kind of a funny meme moment in the history of Starcraft 2. It is one of my favorite clips out there. I said it's my second favorite clip. I'm lying. It's my third favorite clip. Drogo warping in the Stalkers to the Widow Mines and then warping in the next Stalkers and also losing those to the Widow Mines. That's probably my favorite. And then Hero Marine losing to the Fighting Frog and his mothership is my second favorite. But the Drogo clip is gold. And I will be so sad if it's lost forever. Because it was so good. But I think the internet never loses anything, so it's out there somewhere. Last game, we can't forget that ZhuGeLiang lost 5 drones against the first 2 adapts, and that's obviously a few too many. ZhuGeLiang knows that, so he's going to change it up a little bit. This time he only loses 2, and he has a few Zerglings already being annoying. There are more Zerglings making their way to the bottom side of the map. Very important for Coucoute that it doesn't take too much damage. First Oracle is close to the main base of ZhuGeLiang. We'll keep an eye on it. The extra Zerglings are showing up in the natural. Just kill them! Oh, Zuga! Over micro on the side of ZhuGeLiang. Does get 1 worker in the end. Does not get the second. The Zerglings in the natural killed another adept, but that is about it. Coucoute. Oh. I miss Coucoute, guys. I wish that Coucoute was a little more active. But hey, Bad Oasis is almost back. On the 7th of November, Bad Oasis is back. And I think we'll see a little more of our youngster Romanian again. Oh, the LTJ clips are goated too. But they're goated in a different way. You know, that's not really related to Pro StarCraft. But that's probably my favorite rant of all time. Hopefully Coucoute is focusing on school. I don't think he is. I think Coucoute is focused on kickboxing and the Romanian ladies at the moment. He's trying to become a little player. Your favorite Starcraft clip is the Strange clip. That one is good, but the Drogo... I don't know if you've ever seen the Drogo one, Fiant. But if you would have seen the Drogo clip, oh, you would appreciate that. Bro, they say something nice about Romania. I went to the little town of Sinaia once, mate. And I actually thought it was very beautiful. Mountains, snow, great hotel, nice people, lovely hospitality. The dealers in the poker tournament were all mega friendly. A lot of them were Romanian. Some of them were like Latvian, Estonian. But no, I've only been once, but it was great. Is French ready? Drogo is French yet. I know that. Coucoute is Romanian. Drogo is French. You guys really don't have to tell me. I'm aware. 6 minutes in. A little bit of poking and prodding, as Loco would call it. But nothing too crazy has happened. Coucoute playing it, I think, a little bit safer with the oracles. This time he's going for the standard number of 2. Maybe he felt that the third oracle didn't really add a whole lot. We don't have a forge, so that stands out. We don't have a robo. But actually it seems that we're just gonna go for 2 oracles into nothing but blink stalkers. Maybe he thought that ZhuGeLiang didn't get road speed on purpose. And he's like, there is never going to be road speed. I should just spam blink stalkers. Is there a top 30 player you haven't talked to, Roddy? No, of course not. It'd be very bad if I have never interacted with any of them. No, I've met them all. I've spoken to them all. I've played against many. Only MaxPax is the one that I've never met in an offline event, but we've been doing this a little bit too long for that to be the case. 11 roaches on the production tab, as +1 is close to finishing up. Roach speed is 70% done. Obviously, ZhuGeLiang needs to be very, very wary of stasis traps. It is... like, it doesn't look bad for ZhuGeLiang, but it is going to be a lot of Blink Stalkers. He doesn't have a lot of creep to work with. If there was a tiny bit of creep, I'd feel very confident here as a Zerg. At the edge of creep, I've seen Goblin win some illegal games in his days. Eliminate some world-class Zergies of tournaments with just Blink Stalkers. Not quite like this. Goblin wouldn't even make a Stargate. Just go Blink Stalkers and that's it. Full send. But the longer this goes on, obviously I want to say the better it is for ZhuGeLiang, but with Blink Stalkers in the edge of creep in a superior concave, you never really know. This is where we need Lil Bal. Just for the jokes we made about Lil Bal before, I think we all know that nobody on the planet would handle this fight better than Lil Bal. Not even Huck in his top 3 control. How many Stalkers have fallen so far? 10. Yeah, this is actually not that bad. Like, losing 21 roaches for 10 Stalkers, I think that's perfectly fine. If ZhuGeLiang keeps this up, he's going to be more than happy. He needs to be so careful. Stasis trappy. He was dangerously close to that stasis trap. Well, there's actually pretty good Blink Stalker micro right now. For ZhuGeLiang, this is becoming frustrating. The roaches are just incapable of finding a good fight. Stalkers have so much more micro potential than roaches do. And Coucoute with his 10 gateways on the edge of creep is just blinking his boys back one by one like he's parting in his prime. Or Lil Bal destroying everybody in the European scene, making so many of the Zergs uninstall this game and never coming back. You guys wonder right now, why do we have so many Protoss players, Roddy? It's because of Lil Bal, okay? He ruined it for all the Zergs, and we're sick and tired of losing to Sentry Stalker every single game. It is Coucoute who's going to tie things up here. 2 Oracles into 10 gate, into Blink Stalkers. And ZhuGeLiang could not pull off the hold. The supply was there, the roach count was there, the scout was there. Just, yeah, maybe some Zerglings as a little wraparound, right? Or just forcing Stalkers to blink back a bit quicker. If you just stand there on one side of the battlefield and you stare down all the Stalkers on the other side, if the Protoss does not mess up, and especially on that specific spot on side Delta, where the Protoss actually has the concave advantage, it's just so difficult. Ravagers indeed also very useful, because they have slightly superior range, and they deal a lot of damage, and obviously you can use the corrosive balls for zoning. Pure Roaches is probably worst case scenario to defend there. Well, guess what? Inexorable, aka Smifer, aka I wanted to needle Roddy a little bit. Second series of the night, and we're all tied up after 2. You guys think that Smifer is leaving me now? It's like, Roddy, what did I do to deserve all this bullying? It's like, well, not that bullying, mate, but you said nothing but 3 O's. Nerf Blink. Thank you, mate. First time in the chat, guys. The man, I thought about it for 14 years. Everybody has been watching, playing, casting Starcraft 2 since 2010. The man is like, it's 2024. And you know what my contribution to the scene will be? Nerf Blink. Yeah, take that, guys. Let that sink in. Mic drop. Bam. And he's out of here. Unfollowed. We'll take it into consideration. There is a patch in the works. I know people are mumbling about it, talking about it, gossiping, hoping, praying. I don't think they're gonna nerf Blink. Protoss has not exactly dominated the pro scene that hard over the last few years that we are on the verge of nerfing Blink, but I don't think that's a top priority. I'm a hard man now, Roddy. I'm a sweet man, mate. I am soft. Soft like Jonah. And soft like Tommy. Look at them. They're having such a good time. They're just enjoying some StarCraft on the Friday night. The other day, Sal said give Stalkers 2 blinks. I highly doubt he meant it. Yes. Vicky is also into now, as he bought some pumpkins, since he's gonna carve them out and then we can put them here or outside for the kids when they ring our door for Halloween. I don't know. She said, do you want to carve pumpkins with me? And I said, honey, I love you, but no. I'll play video games instead. I was like, babe, those tier 3 creeps won't farm themselves in deadlock. You have fun with your pumpkins. I'm gonna farm. Game 3.
Round 3. Fight!
Bottom left side of Dynasty. We are looking at the main base of our Finnish Zerg veteran. It is ZhuGeLiang. And he was suggested to me, guys, by Cyril. Cyril was down to play today. He said, as long as you invite the ZhuGeLiang. I said, Jonah, for you I'll invite anybody. In the top right side, we're looking at the main base of the French Protoss, playing a strong series so far, displaying some really good macro in game 1, even if he didn't close it out, and really good micro in game 2. This is Coucoute. Now we're playing on Dynasty. A lot of Zergs say Dynasty is literally unplayable. Protoss can do whatever they want. Rainer has a great copy pasta about Dynasty on his channel. Even if he's playing League, I believe it's still active. Exclamation mark Dynasty. What Rainer enjoys most about this map is all the different ways that he cannot take the gold as a Zerg, but Protoss and Terran players can. He'd love to see more maps like this. Now Coucoute is scouting, and he sees no hatchery in the natural, no hatchery on the low ground. Does see a gas and a pool here, but nothing too mega early. Does not quite know yet about this hatch. Now what does this mean? What is ZhuGeLiang going to do? Lord knows. I'm not totally certain. Maybe this hatch is just there to make sure that Coucoute cannot take it immediately, but if Coucoute just takes this base and then harasses the gold of ZhuGeLiang, I think you don't have to worry too much about this base, but... He will be super happy. Yeah, obviously, if Coucoute would have gone for a high ground pylon, high ground gateway, and he would have taken this as his natural, he'd absolutely be in trouble. I know a lot of professional Protoss players do that, so to be fair, if ZhuGeLiang thought that he would do that, that would make sense, and then maybe the build would have been very good for Zhuge. I personally, when I play on Dynasty, I just take this as my natural, and I just take this as my third. And it still makes for a good Protoss map, I think. I don't have the Dynasty copy pasta, but Rainer has it. I posted it. Dynasty is my favorite SC2 map of all time. The dynamics of the gold base you can take are just fascinatingly designed. I don't think I can go ever back to a Dynasty less map pool. And then he snuck in the God bless. God bless for the Dynasty. Mark wrote it? Okay. It's a good copy pasta. What on earth is happening here, by the way, guys? Is he going for a Dark Strike? Some one base blink? Coucoute. What? So, guys, we lost game 1, 90 workers, 6 bases. Game 2, we said, alright, we're going to keep life simple. We're going to go for 2 oracles into 10 gateways and nothing but blink stalkers. And Coucoute's like, well, that's fun, but I think Roddy is a bit behind schedule. What if we just go for 1 base blink stalker? Well, I personally don't think it's very good, but who am I, guys? The worst thing is that eventually you have to worry about this hatch, and eventually you need to do something about this one. Oh, ZhuGeLiang finds it! ZhuGeLiang scouts everywhere, as obviously this Finnish Zerg veteran, guys, he is not crazy. He has an Overlord in the natural, he has an Overlord at the gold. He sees no bases have been taken, and it must have been something cheeky. I think Coucoute is in a lot of trouble here, man. This is just, oh no, Stalker gets surrounded as well. This is a nightmare. If I was Coucoute here, I'd be leaving. Even if it's a tournament game. I'd be taking off my headphones and say there is an issue with Dynasty. A bug. I mean, I want to say that I think he's kind of dead almost. But obviously we can always build a Dark Shrine. ZhuGeLiang does not have a lair yet. I do think it'd be absolutely insane if ZhuGeLiang does not think about DTs here. Yeah, that's what I think as well, Coucoute. But Or a bully. The funny thing is though, mate, we can say that, and then suddenly ZhuGeLiang is gonna have 0 detection against DTs in 3 different bases. And then we'd look stupid. And people are like, oh, you guys said it was over. You guys said he was dead. It's like, well, I think Coucoute should have been dead. But ZhuGeLiang is now building 8 roaches and still has no lair, no spore crawler. I might like this for Coucoute. I think I'm starting to like this for Coucoute. What are we doing? Oh my goodness, there's so much experience, ZhuGeLiang. Tens, thousands of... Okay, that was a bad blink, by the way, by our friend Coucoute, but hey. Maybe he's just selling it. He's like, man, it's blink stalkers, I swear. That's what I'm doing. You got me. You're shutting down my build. You got me. This is all I got. Don't worry about these guys. Don't. Oh my god, but... by the way, Coucoute has like no army supply. So he's got DTs, but he's got no army supply. One guy has no detection, the other guy has no army. Ay caramba. Oh my goodness, a DT in the natural, a DT in the main. But ZhuGeLiang is on 29 workers. One more defensive DT be so big. ZhuGeLiang now realizes that he just needs to go for it. And there is a gap. Mind your step. Mind all the gaps. The Stalkers will die, the Zerglings will die. This is a clown fiesta. This is NA Starcraft, if I've ever seen NA Starcraft. The drones are now fully surrounding the DT. One spore crawler is online. DTs are doing their thing. Probes on hold position with Stalkers and a DT. What are we watching? I think Coucoute's got it, no? Like, it's a lot of Zerg units, but I think this is a hold. Coucoute wins from an almost impossible position. As he went for the oldest rule in the Protoss playbook. Went behind. Go Dark Shrine. When Omega dead, go Dark Shrine. And you know, Bully, that was not a bad call, mate. Because I'm with you. He was dead. Zerg wins? No, Zerg is dead? I honestly think Zerg is kind of dead. Something I've said many times on this stream. Oh my god, there's an Overlord farm as well in this center. Are you joking? What on earth is this? It's when you're very, very far ahead. You have to ask yourself the question, what can I still lose to? Mixer says, I think Zuga is still winning. I mean, he does have 4 hatcheries to be fair. And he's got a lair now. He's down 9 workers, but he got a rich Vespian geyser. Earn will drop at minute 10. Honestly, guys, if Coucoute just picks up the movement rune, I think he's got it. But Zuga may try to force mid over here. Yeah, he's got that rich Vespian guys. Well, does he? He's got 2. That 2 is something. But if he just keeps on making units now and he's attacking into a Protoss with Blink Stalkers, he could lose again. Even if Coucoute only has 15 supply, but... Wait, he has no he has a Cyber Core. He's just already rebuilding it. Better to be safe than sorry. The guy who went for the 1-base Blink Stalker attack now lives by the it's better to be safe than sorry. I don't know. If Mixu was playing this game, he'd be like, I think the Zerg is overextending. I think we can get him. He'd be ziplining in, jumping off the wall, using his knockdown, and he'd be smashing some Ravagers to bits. This is a game. I've seen 72 weeks of StarCraft 2 on the Friday night. The Dynasty PVZ ZhuGeLiang versus Coucoute is absolutely a game. And at this point, I'm staying away from anybody winning this. I'm done. I love, by the way, how we still don't have detection here. Like, obviously, there's an Overseer and stuff, but... You think Zug has it? I'll let you guys do the predictions from here on out. ZhuGeLiang has a gold. But he's got a crap army against Blink Stalkers, Archons potentially, Disrupt this soon. And don't forget that Coucoute can also take this base. And this... I don't know. This might be a tiny bit of a hot take, because he's down 40 something supply, but I actually think Coucoute has it. But he could also die in the next 20 seconds. ZhuGeLiang, is he gonna go for the mass Drop-a-Lord play? Is he going for the nerd show, guys? Is he gonna get like 10 Drop-a-Lords and he's just gonna full send it into the main base of the Protoss? That'd be a play, no? Are we gonna try to make nerd show proud? Overlord speed is on the way. 10 Dropperlords and send it. That'd be cool. Coucoute should have just expanded, by the way, though. I feel like he could have expanded by now. I know it's scary when there is like Zerg stuff on the other side, but 8 more Overlords on the way for ZhuGeLiang. Sometimes I know what you guys are thinking. Roddy, do Zerg units literally cost anything? And I have the answer for a lot of things, but I don't have the answer for that one. I believe they cost something, but honestly, I haven't played enough Zerg to fully confirm it. I just feel like they've got some special deals running, whenever they play Zerg. Buy 1, get 7 for free. ZhuGeLiang was down to 22 drones, and they were doing a lot of things besides mining, and he still has an absolute humongous amount of units. We've got 134 Zerglings on the map. And Coucoute is moving out with just Stalkers. But he also has 2 Disruptors, I think. But yeah, Disruptors are not going to be that good against 146 Zerglings. For Infestus, Eon Blue. Obviously. Obviously. 5 of them. I mean, Coucoute is gonna try to send it on 2 base. If he gets like 5 Archons, he's got a dream army. But with 1 Colossus and 1 Archon, I mean, I know they're good against Zerglings, but I don't think this is quite the army. 77 armies fly against 142. It's a lot of Zerglings, to be fair. Sweet baby Jesus. ZhuGeLiang's got 168 Zerglings. And Coucoute is like, I've got 1 Archon, I think I'm fine. Oh my god, you're not fine. The Infestor's coming in as well. ZhuGeLiang with an engagement for the ages. And Coucoute with his Stalker army gets surrounded. Yeah, obviously, because wherever he would go, the man would get surrounded by 168 links. No upgrades, no hive, nothing. Look at Zuga. He's like, yeah, now I can sneak out a couple drones, guys. 3 drones, macro game after all. Like, honestly, this is some J Money magic logic. It's like, yeah, but he was pressuring me. I was forced to build a lot of units. No. No one is forced to build 168 links. And right when they wipe the floor with everything, they're like, a couple drones. We'll sneak in a hive. You know, it's all good. I'm a macro-oriented gamer. It's ridiculous. Oh, it's so I would have loved to see that fight, guys, with like 5 Archons instead of 1. 5 Archons instead of 1, and we are cooking. What a game. Uh-oh. Poor Coucoute. Do not engage in the clown fiestas with ZhuGeLiang. Because you may have adapted it, but this man was born in them, grew up with them, gave them a face. He's been doing this for a long, long time. Coucoute is learning the hard way. If we had gas to make 30 Stalkers, we definitely had gas to make a couple Archons. The man also had an Observer and had a War Prism, so he could have scouted for a little bit. Or even if you make 1 Sentry and you get 1 hallucinated Phoenix flying around and you see that your opponent has no hive, no Evo chamber, no drones anywhere, but 168 links, I don't think we're moving out with 30 Stalkers. This is definitely a series. But guys, the real plot twist is yet to come. Coucoute is still going to win. ZhuGeLiang has mined out the rich Vespian gas. Guys, he has mined out the rich Vespian geyser on Coucoute's side of the map. But the gold is mined out. He's now going for long distance mining on this rich Vespian geyser too. Vipers are on the way, but we've got at Templar Archives. We can land some feedbacks. Coucoute is still winning. I don't know how. What's gonna happen? No. I don't think it's gonna happen. But you never know. I want to say crazier things have happened. I don't know if that's true. But then we think back of Tafo against MVP and we'll be like, yeah, that's true. Coucoute is moving away from his shield battery. ZhuGeLiang thinks about the engagement and decides against it. And the man with 68 army supply blinks forward. Coucoute has absolutely no fear. And he's breaking every stereotype that we know about the French. Something about them giving up, them running away. Not Coucoute. 68 army supply and he blinks forward to chase the Zerg with 140 army supply. As everything gets fungal, everything gets abducted. And it is ZhuGeLiang who takes the 2-1 lead. And I love after a game like this, you can just sneak in. The GG, well played. Like, that was a game, mate. You got me. It's like, hey, this was fun. ZhuGeLiang, 2-1 up. 1 map win away from walking away with 80 buckies and making it 2 in a row for the Finnish Zergies tonight. Mixu called it, by the way, guys. Mixu did believe that ZhuGeLiang was still going to win. We got there in a very unique way. Zerg still wins these. No detection, attacking into DTs. 1 base on the other side of the map, no spore anywhere, no ability to make overseers. Be a problem for a lot of races. Not for the Zergies. That wasn't even hell. Yeah, exactly. Attacking into DTs and not having any detection in 3 different bases, which one of them was proxied. Not hell. Being up 90 army supply, having the entire map, but having to kill a Protoss army near a couple batteries. Hell. Absolute hell. Fun game. A really fun game between these two. We're a little bit behind schedule, but it's obviously okay. Next series is going to be Mixu versus BattleBee. That's a very high level Starcraft series. This one obviously pretty high level too. It's just, it looks a bit funny. But I am still impressed by a lot of the things that Coucoute has done. Coucoute, rather, not Coucou, but Coucoute. ZhuGeLiang says he needs a minute. Maybe he's grabbing some water. Coucoute is ready to go. What's the story behind Massive Plane? I know I have a couple of friends of Coucoute in the chat. What's the story, guys, behind Massive Plane? Can you guys tell me that? Instead of boycotting, he thinks of funny names. I respect it. I like it. But why a massive plane? Pretty funny. Why? Imagine losing to a massive plane. A carrier. A battle cruiser. A Beluga XL. I was thinking an Airbus 380, but... If you neuroparasite a loaded wire prism, can you unload the unit to kill it? That is a question for Fear Dragon. What Marty's game is 5,700, 5,600, something like that. A ship? What's the difference between a ship and a plane? Aren't ships in the sea, in the river, in the ocean? Can't neuro transport units in them? Man, you know what should be possible then? That you can load just one probe inside of your mothership and it can never get neuroed. Wouldn't that be something? Thank you to Raynor for the raid. I appreciate it. Did Raynor win any games, guys? I did ask Raynor, by the way, to play today, but don't tell him that I told you guys this, but Raynor was afraid of Sarah. He was like, maybe we can do random against random. I was like, no. I was like, it's ZVZ or nothing. Raynor was afraid. But then I asked Showtime, and Showtime just said, sure, sounds fun. Raynor won every game? Sweet baby Jesus. What on earth happened with that matchmaking in League? It's not what it used to be, huh? Are they saving on cost over there, guys? Are the teams in balance these days, or? Alright. Thank you to Toad Bear for the prime. I appreciate it, mate. Let's do it. It is match point for our Finnish Zerg. Can he make it? 2-0 for the Finnish Zergies tonight. We're about to find out as we load into another Protoss map from Dynasty into Golden Aura. This is game 4.
Round 4. Fight!
In the top left side of Golden Aura, we are looking at the main base of our Finnish Zerg, the veteran. A man has been around for a very long time. He was very excited to play these games. He asked Cyril to ask me, and he was very happy when I contacted him. He said, it's been a long time, I miss it. I think it's so fun to play these series with people watching and something on the line. Can't wait. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you, my friend. This is ZhuGeLiang. Who among us haven't lost an embarrassing amount of ladder points to an Airbus? Honestly, I'd rather lose to an Airbus than a Boeing these days. The Boeings are risky, man. It's scary. In the bottom right side of Golden Aura, we're looking at the main base of our French Protoss for the second time. He's here in the Big Brain Bouts. An ambitious, excited, hungry Frenchman. A Coucoute. This Coucoute, by the way, again is playing double gate. Why are we double gating here? The only time I ever really see double gate by choice is if the map is Alcyone and the Zerg has decided to go for hatch first at the gold. That's when I see some really good Protoss players go double gate. But if it's all very standard, I don't really like it. Why not reply? They replied. Good luck, have fun. Good luck, have fun. It was just a little bit later, mate. Maybe ZhuGeLiang was busy microing his drones. Lana still plays 2 gate from time to time, to be fair. Yeah, that's the one with the guns, right? You mean the Iron Dome opening? No. Or the Iron Vault opening, excuse me. No, I'm talking about Starcraft 2, Bombers. I know that the man builds a lot of hex stores, vex stores, whatever they're called. Sometimes the puppies, but no. What is happening? Why is ZhuGeLiang now building not 1 but 2 spines? The last time I saw anybody do this was the days of the American Zerg streaming a lot. And they swore by it. The American Zerg streamers were like, if the Protoss makes adepts, just go 1 spine per mineral line. Trust me, bro. I'm a pro. This really did happen. That's where it went wrong with American RTS guys. They had a whole bunch of streamers telling them to build a spine crawler per mineral line to deal with any sort of harassment. Now, I can guarantee you guys that 1 spine does not keep you safe against 2 adepts. I know it is Destiny. He's one of the guys I was thinking of, but they built 3 spines at minute 4 and they still lose drones. They're like, unbelievable. Man, this unit is so stupid. It's like, well, I like this for Coucoute. I do really like this for Coucoute, and he hasn't even done anything. To me, it kind of feels that ZhuGeLiang has killed himself. But it's not that bad yet, obviously. It's still early, but it's... Yeah, this double gate opening has worked out. Yeah, I watched Destiny stream quite a bit when it was the Starcraft stream. I mean, I watched a lot of streams, right? Just like I love you guys. The good thing is that back then it also felt that there was always at least like 1 stream that you kind of had to be watching. Doesn't really matter if it was your race, doesn't matter if it was like Benny or Destiny or Chef Day 9, yada yada. There was always like a really good stream to watch. Idra, of course, when he was streaming a lot. Yeah, even when Destiny came back a little bit and he played Legacy. The Adepts, guys. Spine per base. The EG house was pretty golden that way. Mostly just because it was so funny to see them annoy the ever-living hell out of each other. All of them streaming, and you know that they were like right next to each other. And I was like, oh my god, I want to be a fly on the wall so bad during dinner tonight. And one of their managers is like, so Greg, how was your stream? And he just looks over at the Muslim. He's like, I got bunker rushed by some fucking British idiot. It's like, I wish I was there, guys. I want to soak it all in. Destiny now pretends to know politics. I think he knows a lot about it. Just depends on whether or not you agree with him, right? I watch it from time to time, but we don't have to go there. Because whenever people talk about politics, it always gets so weird.
There's only my view. My view is right. Everything else is wrong. Let's be mean to each other. Yada yada.
Keep it at the Starcraft 2. Or Starcraft 2 lore, legacy, memes, sports, whatever. Take the politics to my pal Cell. I believe he's got a big... No, it was yesterday, right? The free-for-all night. Upper 3 does love. I believe that his entire month right now is focused and centered around the US election that's coming up. So, honestly, any given day, you guys want to give your 2 cents, talk to Upper 3 about it. Upper 3 is eager. He wants to know all about the movement in the polls, the swing states, all of it and then some. The heated debates. Cell is your source. Coucoute is back to just making a lot of Blink Stalkers, guys. 2 gates into 7 gate a Blink Stalker with a War Prism. That is it. Worked out very well on site Delta. There's a good chance that ZhuGeLiang sent a little message to Zero in between those games. He's like, hey man, what should I do? If he just makes so many Blink Stalkers and I know it's coming, what do I do? Maybe Zero told him, we need more Zerglings. Roaches alone is not good enough. Get a couple Ravages, get a couple Zerglings, and perhaps life will be better. Best of 5 live on the line here for Coucoute. I want to say I think I like it for ZhuGeLiang at this point. But the Stalkers do get on top of the spine. He gets the spine. There's some extra final coming up. Coucoute realizing that his opponent is making a lot of Zerglings, and because of that he has warped in a whole bunch of Zealots. The Zealots don't have +1, so they're not going to be amazing. But what they will be is tanky. And anything that's tanky is good. ZhuGeLiang is going for the old school Roach Ravager counter. The Rainer, I used to call it. Rainer was the absolute king in splitting up a couple Ravages and sniping the Prism. Here is it, ZhuGeLiang with the Rainer. Unbelievable, the plays. He did lose his entire army in the natural, but still, what a snipe. Can we now eventually turn this around? Coucoute says, nope, none of it. Another forward blink. Man, this French Protoss is going for it. He's sending it. Can Zhuge get out enough units to clean this up one time and one time only? I'm gonna say that's all he needs, but the Ravages are exposed. He's floating 1100 minerals. He can't spend his money, cannot sneak out enough units. And we are going to game 5. Inexorable. Are you still there? Are you still there? The man said nothing but 3 zeros tonight. Well, we're 2 series in. Back-to-back 3 2s. Scripted, mate, don't worry. I always sneak them at 10ers. Like, make sure it goes to game 5, guys. Otherwise, I may lose my job at Basilisk. I need to make sure that we get some fun, close, competitive series. You give him a cheeky bonus and we always go to game 5. Got you. You'd like to apply for your formal apology? Apology accepted, man. You know I like you. If I ever tease you, it's because I like you. And if I snap at you, well, that also comes from a place of love. But then sometimes there is some anger there. If I ignore you, I think you're a total donkey. Just so you know. Shang didn't get the 10er when he played me. No. Shang did get a little bonus from me. But he said, Roddy, I tried to lose to Wing and it just didn't work. No matter what I did, that guy is incapable of winning a game of StarCraft 2. I was like, ah, fair enough, man. Didn't even want my money back. I was like, keep it. I saw you try, but hey. The kid can't walk. So be it, eh? Never a dragon elf. Nothing but love, mate. If Roddy snaps at you, it's called tough love. Yeah, or sometimes I'm just mad, right? It's almost like I'm a human. You do something for long enough, eventually stuff starts annoying you. You keep it in, it starts boiling up. Bap! And then you put some nerds in their place, and then life is good again, and you move on. You're like, whew! What a relief. What a relief. Alright, for the second time tonight, we are going to Game 5. The Finnish Zergies giving us a proper show so far. It was our good friend, Code Bar, who got the reverse sweep. And now we are watching the Finnish Zerg veteran. That is ZhuGeLiang. Game 5 is Oceanborn. The winner gets $80. The loser gets 20. Let's do it.
Final round. Fight!
Top left side of Oceanborn. We are looking at the main base of the man who's finding a lot of success with Blink Stalker Aggression. Obviously, it was his downfall as well in Dynasty, but that was a bit of a unique game. This is Coucoute. Played very well against Moja the first time we invited him. Even if he did not win, I thought he played pretty good there. Because Moja is an animal. And he's doing good here tonight against this man, who's also had his moments. Great plays, funny plays. It is good to see him play some Starcraft again. A man from the past. It is ZhuGeLiang. I just looked on Bet365. Didn't realize you can bet on BBB. I have nothing to do with that. Betting on esports is not even legal in the Netherlands. So I don't have a Bet365 account right now. But even if I would have, like, esports does not show up for Dutch customers. It is all regulated by the government, and we can only bet. It comes down per country. Like in some countries, I know you can bet on esports. In the Netherlands, everything goes through the government these days, unless you do the crypto stuff or the illegal websites. But if you use any of the big websites that are actually legislated and they have a license, they will not offer any esports. Not just StarCraft, no Dota, no League, nothing esports related. I know in other countries it's allowed, or at least in some, but in the Netherlands it's not. So I know nothing about it, but I guess that's kind of cool, and in a weird way, that will make people tune in. Because I have spent my fair time around absolute degenerate gamblers. And they'll gamble on anything, whether they know anything about it or not. So a lot of people will see, oh, StarCraft 2, Friday evening? Well, that seems fun. And they may put some money on it and enjoy these games. And maybe it will create some fans. Some people are going to be really mad. God damn it. That Zero guy always wins. Gotta lose one day, right? But I spoke with Wadi about this in the past, and it definitely happens like to Wadi's events as well. Just a lot of people will tune in because they make bets, some small, some big, and they want to watch. It's not just an esports thing, it's like all around sports, right? You have it in basketball, you have it in volleyball, you have it in table tennis. Silly thing you can think of, there will be people betting on it. Wiener dog racing. Yeah, I know, mate. Guys, what is ZhuGeLiang doing here? ZhuGeLiang is building Zerglings. He's building more Zerglings. Coucoute has been a little bit adventurous, right? In a couple of the games, our French Protoss has been a little bit adventurous, and he left the doors open. And ZhuGeLiang is gonna send it. But the Adept stayed at home a bit. If the Adept gets surrounded quickly, it's very bad news. The thing is that even if it stays at home now, it doesn't see all the extra Zerglings show up. And ZhuGeLiang, his Zergling speed is 15-20 seconds away. If Coucoute would make a full wall off right now, a temporary full wall off, it'd be absolutely monstrous for him. If he doesn't, I don't want to say he's dead, because he is building an Oracle and he's already killing a lot of Zerglings. He's actually doing really good so far, but I still think he's going to take damage. There is our second gate, but we have no wall off. Where are those Zerglings? Those Zerglings are here. They're gonna go for the pylon. They're gonna unpower Warp Gate. Oh, the Adepts, and they cannot shade. Shade is on cooldown. Ay, caramba. Oh, but he rewalls. Oh my goodness, Coucoute. Coucoute with the rewall. ZhuGeLiang was a split second too late there. He let the rewall happen. Ay, caramba, but it's just another weird game, because now there's a good chance we're going to lose a Cybercore and we're going to lose Warp Gate. And then as bad as this is for ZhuGeLiang to make so many Zerglings and lose this many Zerglings, now we are looking at a fully walled in Protoss with no Warp Gate. And these guys are such a good match for one another. This is ridiculous. Don't kill it too early, by the way. Wait, what? What did he just do there? Oh, he already rebuilt the Cybercore in his main. He didn't realize that he rebuilt the Cybercore. Now he rebuilt the Cybercore here, but then he also had one in his main base. Yeah. Wait, the Oracles are leaving. ZhuGeLiang says, alright, I'll help you with that. No, the Oracles are returning. I love it. I absolutely love it. The Zerglings of Zuga will snipe the probe that was trying to warp in the third nexus. Twilight Council has been warped in. Economically, it's obviously like not that bad for Coucoute at all. However, the third nexus is late. Yeah, having a lot of minerals sucks, but he can spend it. Don't forget, by the way, you can also just build units old school way. You don't have to wait for a warp gate. You can just build a couple of... What? The double expand! The double expand! Coucoute! With no regard at all for Finnish Zerg aggression. Pie, you nailed it, mate. Hey, thank you to Fossman, by the way, for the 22 months. I appreciate it. I hope to see you again at the Home Story Cup, mate. We'll have some nice German beers. But bring me a Kölsch this time. None of that bitter Bavarian stuff. I want a proper German beer. I need the Kölsch. 6 drones died to the double Oracle drive-by. The adepts are also going to get picked off. Does Zuge know about the double expand? He's about to find out. No, he doesn't know. And he hasn't found out yet. Ian Blue says Zuge is not fine. I agree that it's not looking that hot, but I think we've seen enough crazy stuff in this best of 5 so far to know that this could still go down so many different routes. The Oracles are actually still sniping some drones as well. Coucoute! Is he the first one to make one of the 4 Finnish Zergies bleed tonight? Poor Zuge hasn't seen it yet. It's like that doesn't make any sense. Like in ZhuGeLiang's mind, this game is, even if it's not gone totally according to plan, it's probably pretty good, right? He's like, man, that third base was late. He didn't have any workers there. Now he splits off a Zergling. He's like, what the fuck? That nexus is done. There's a pylon. There's a battery. There's a couple workers already. Like, wait a minute. Can I do something about it? No, not really. We've got 33 Zerglings. Winning the Grand Prix this weekend, by the way, guys. Easy. Easy. So jealous of all of you Texans out there that can watch Max do his thing. Whew. The only question is by how many seconds, am I right? The Zerglings are gonna get on top of the shield battery. Shield battery will fall. Coucoute wouldn't be Coucoute if he didn't have a move out going. That would be very sad, but that's a lot of Zerglings, but Zerglings don't shoot up, don't fight up. There's not a whole lot they can do about them oracles. We've got +1 missile attacks on the way. We've got the Hydra upgrade. What about just some good old-fashioned Roach Hydra? I did not see that video, SSBM. What if we just max out on Roach Hydra? ZhuGeLiang casually makes 14 drones at minute 8. Alright, that is a play. I still rate Roach Hydra. I know I'm the only one out there. But as a Protoss player who doesn't really know how to use High Templars, and my balls always whiff, I rate Roach Hydra. Well, Coucoute is a man who does build a lot of gateway units. Makes a crazy amount of workers. Maxing out on Roach Hydra wouldn't even be the worst thing ever. Obviously it's bad once Disruptors are out. Kinda bad against Colossus. Very bad against Disruptors and high Immortal counts, high Storm counts. But just against Stalkers, it's not that bad. Ay caramba, Fazman. That hurts, mate. And he's gonna have to come to Cologne. We should do a StarCraft 2 meetup in Cologne at the end of the year. A little StarCraft party. Doesn't have to be related to an event. We're just gonna drink blue wine at the Christmas market and eat schnitzels. And then drink a lot of Kölsch. Let's do it. Who needs an event? Cologne is the esports capital of Europe. Let's make it happen. For real. We're doing it. Blue wine, Kölsch, schnitzels, all of it and then some. Sometime December. Perfect time of the year. Mate, Coucoute is so aggressive. I know he's up in supply and everything, but a lot of his stalkers are very low on HP. He's starting to take a bit of a beating against the Hydras. What do we have in the natural? Cheeky War Prism. Zealots are doing their thing. And this is where a few roaches would be very useful, but we don't have roaches. ZhuGeLiang forced to make nothing but Hydras right now, but the double Robo is pumping out 2 Colossus at a time. That forward blink is so crazy. Can we get recall? Yes, we can. I'm gonna lose one. War Prism is now rotated over into the main base. That's a lot of Zealots, and ZhuGeLiang is gonna be forced to bring way more Hydras over. I mean, Coucoute is absolutely flying at this point, guys. We've even got DTs in the mix. Can he create the DT wall? No, because there is a Spore Crawler there. The DTs didn't do anything. I got excited, but that was just a donation. Now the Spore died in the main, so this final DT is annoying. The real problem for ZhuGeLiang, guys, is that there is a Protoss on 5 bases, pumping out 2 Colossus at a time with +2. And Colossus are very good against Hydras. We don't even have a bunch of roaches to buffer. We don't have hive tech. I mean, the multitasking by this French boy, nuts. Leaves 1 DT behind. It's a bit sad. Stalkers are here once more. Coucoute is putting on a show. And you'd be very tempted to say that this could not possibly go wrong for the Protoss. And I want to say it, guys. I really do. And in any other best of 5, I would say this one is over. Coucoute has it. Right here, we might just see Hydra snipe Colossus left, right, and center. But it should be impossible. If ZhuGeLiang had Hive, I would never say it's impossible. But with just Hydras, like, he hasn't seen these Colossus yet. So he hasn't even dropped in a very quick Lurker then. Because even Lairtech Lurkers can be useful against Colossus. But he thinks it's just gateway units. Zealots, DTs, maybe some Archons. Now 5 Colossus show up. And now ZhuGeLiang is like, please tell me those are fake. You made a couple sentries over there, mate. That army is Haluk, right? I still have a chance. I'm not lost. And Coucoute says, no, no, no. This time, you are lost. The first best of 5 did not really work out for Coucoute against Moja, but he played well in those games. This one he had to really work for. ZhuGeLiang has made it weird. ZhuGeLiang's got so many freaking Hydras. Ay caramba, that's a lot of Hydras, but Hydras just melt against Colossus. Colossus have been great against the Hydras since Wings of Liberty 2010, since the early days in the beta. And I think there's just no way to mess this up as a Protoss. You can't. Not even Wingant or Pi is capable of messing this one up, and that says a lot. Now the War Prism did die. And Coucoute is like, man, that's really scary. I've got 4 Colossus against 14 Hydras, I should run back. No, you could not. There is no way to mess that up. You think Pi could? No. No, Pi couldn't. You can't lose. 5 Colossus cannot lose 2 Hydras. Like, there's only one way to lose, and that's when you start shooting at your own units. That is the only way to use. Going up to 7 Colossus, yeah, but you know what? If you're fighting Hydra Ling, I don't even hate it. Make 20 for all I care. Live out your best Wings of Liberty dreams, my friend. You guys have known that in Wings of Liberty there were no Vipers. You might be like, but Roddy, how would Zergs deal with Colossus then? Well, they were forced to make Corruptus. As GG gets called. And then a really fun fact is that Corruptus used to have mana or energy. So you could feedback the Corruptus because they couldn't use it on anything. So the fight would start, you feedback all the Corruptors and your Colossus would rip everything. Great series between these two. Well done by Coucoute as he gets a 3-2 victory. Feedback with double damage indeed. I'll never forget, and I've said this many times. Thank you so much to BASILISK for 10 more subs. 1 to Grobby. Look at that guy. That's awesome. Grobby was playing in those days. I think it was Hazuops versus Dimaga. And it was at Gamescom. And then the German audience was so excited, they couldn't wait to see the fight happen. And I was a Protoss player myself. And Hazuops had a lot of Archons, High Templars, Void Race, and Colossus. And the Zerg, Dimaga, had Roaches, Hydras, and Corruptus. And the fight started. Everybody waited for it. The audience got excited. And like 22 Corruptus flew in. And Hazuops just feedbacked and one-shotted all of them. And the entire Zerg army disappeared. And then the Colossus killed everything. And the German audience was like, yeah! And I'm looking at it, I was like, I play Protoss, but this seems pretty busted. I'm not gonna lie. This wasn't fair. Look at Dimaga's face, and Dima's like, ah, fuck, what could I do? was like, well, turned out, Dimaga, there was nothing you could have done, mate. Absolutely nothing. Won that final game in 13 minutes and 37 seconds. Look at that. Well done. A lead victory in Game 5. Back-to-back Game 5s. I love it. You guys love it. We're going to get ready for Mixu versus BattleB. Second, or the last series. The co-main event. The winner of the best of 5 gets $100. The loser gets 25. You guys believed in ZhuGeLiang, but it was Coucoute who gets the dub. Our French Protoss gets the dub. Mixu versus BattleB. Best of 5. BBB number 72. 125. Mixu finish. Z. BattleB. German T. This is going to be a fun series. Very high level. Both players obviously over 6,000 MMR. We'll make it 15 minutes because I think it's going to go on forever. Take a tiny break. After that, I'll be back with the start of Mixu versus BattleB. And then, of course, we have one more series, and that is Saro versus Showtime. I'll see you guys soon.